Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukkake, your host. Our heroes are battling their way through hell. Butthole, Juniper, and Moonhammer won God Prom before it was destroyed by Captain Planteer, and they reached out to Baal. Meanwhile, Quinny and Reginald fought Bucky in the archive before being invited to join his secret resistance, and Captain Planteer attacked. Can our heroes do anything without fucking Captain Planteer showing up? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Reginald, you are facing down Captain Plantier. You are full of like roid gems, and you've got three Manny goons in front of you who are like desperately fucked up from what you've been doing. You've heard Quinny yell, "Let's go." You see a small dragonborn guy sitting down very politely. He seems to be pretty happy about it in a way that people who are under the effects of command generally aren't. But the greater concern is the asshole that you fought previously, standing there, looking all smug and Zap Brannigan-y, and staring you down. What do you do?
I would like to throw one of the Manny people at him and then run away out the door.
My man. All right.
Nice.
So go ahead with athletics. Does your like Dr. Mr. Hyde Roid Rage thing give you any advantages to athletics?
No, it gives me the bonus attack, so it just jumps me from 1 attack to 3. But could we say I could combine all 3 attacks into one throw, perhaps?
We could. I will give you advantage.
Yay!
It doesn't really make sense to me that if you were fully roided out and not bothering to attack anyone else, that you would just be like, "Yeah,
I'm sleepy.
It's still hard."
All right. That is a 27.
Yup. All right. So you grab, I don't know, we'll say, do you want to grab the guy with the broken mask, the guy who's bleeding through his shirt, or the third guy who is holding his shattered hand and staring at it in horror?
Oh, funny third guy. He's going to scream the loudest and be the most distracting.
Nice.
Amazing. So you grab the rule of 3 guy and toss him full on at Captain Plantier, who is standing there waiting for someone to tell him where he can find papers about divorce, because he's really got to like figure out this Moonhammer thing. This is concerning, but first he's got to read up because he doesn't really know what contract law is. And suddenly the person's flying through the air. I'm going to roll and see if he notices or if he's too busy looking impressive. He does. So he just kind of looks up and he's like, "Oh no!" And he extends a hand and just a beam, like there's a flash of brilliant blue energy. You realize he's just like essentially like water blasted this guy at like full speed. So it just blows a chunk through the guy's chest. He does indeed scream very hilariously. And then he lands on Captain Plantier's arm like a weird shitty bangle. And he just looks at it like, "Ew," and like flicks him off to the ground. During which time, I assume, Ryan, you're fucking booking it.
Oh yeah, man, I'm fucking gone. This is not a hero's move. This is a sidekick's folly.
Yeah, great. He looks down at the guy at his feet. He's like, "There you go. You've been power washed. You're the cleanest you've ever been. You're fucking welcome." And he steps on his head as he marches forward to see you run. He's like, "Hey, I know you. You were there. You were there at that concert thing. Fuck you." But unfortunately, he did just use his turn to do that. So you've got a round to get away. Quinny, you're up on the second floor still. Captain Plantier has arrived. Reginald is fucking getting out of Dodge. What do you do?
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to jump down to where Bucky landed. I'm not sticking around. I'm just landing near him. I'm saying, "Bucky, you have to go. This guy's on a whole other level." And I run.
Okay, Mr. Quinny. I got to kill you, though. Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right. So, Tyler, I'm going to need, I think probably acrobatics. This is one of those Michael Bay Transformer Transformer tries to grab the squishy human as they run by thing. So to see if you can get past Captain Plantier before he opens up.
Uh, 22.
All right. So you rush by just as he's stepping forward and steps on the guy's head, crushing it. And he's like, what? And as you whip past, he's like, and you. But by this point, the two remaining guards on the ground are like awkwardly like shuffle and hobbling up to him to try and like, defend Bucky. And
Brave.
He just says, thing about libraries is they're full of pages of trees that have been felled. And as librarians, think it's time you fuckers gave back. And then he just puts a hand on both their heads, and their faces underneath the mask twist into screams as he turns them both into trees, buying you time to escape. Behind him, Bucky's like, cool, oh no. And then gets up and leaps out of the hole in the wall that Captain Plantier made. Because technically you did command him to get out of here, and he does have to follow your orders. So when you said, get out of here, he's on the next level, he did. So Quinny and Reginald, you are running. Captain Plantier is there. He might not be far behind you, but you've got a bit of a head start. What do you do?
As we're dashing out of the room, Tom, Reginald would like to hold his flaming warhammer alongside his like weird exterminator gun, using the fire to perhaps turn it into a flamethrower.
I'll buy that.
And just do 3 different blasts on the books inside the archive and yell back, "You better find your divorce before it burns," in the hope it'll keep Plantier focused. And then he's just fucking booking it to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, all right. So I'll let that happen. But I'm going to need a dexterity save because to pause and do that means that as he's blowing a hole in the one guy, you can just kind of turn his arm 40 degrees to maybe get you with a bit of it.
Nah, fuck that then. If he doesn't slow down at all, he's not fucking doing it.
Yeah. I just figured if you're
then
gonna like light it on fire. No, you can do that as you're running and like shoot fire over your back, but to like stay in the library,
no. He'll just shoot it over his back. I feel like that's kind of Reginald's level of heroism.
Sure. All right. So you're just like setting random fires.
Yeah.
Quinny, you're like dodging around.
I'm behind him. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of what you expected from a tingler. But so the two of you are running further into back towards the entrance. My question to you is, would you try and obviously that wing of the archive is sealed off to you right now because Captain Plantier is there, which unfortunately has a lot of the stuff you need. Would you try and go somewhere else in the Administratum for now, or would you just get out of Dodge, regroup, and attempt when Captain Plantier is no longer here?
I don't know. We got the resistance to go to, but okay, we have the resistance to go to, but we really need a fucking lawyer.
It's only going to be harder to get in here after he's gone, with more guards, people like fixing the place up. Let's try and find what we can and get out of here. Just try and keep away from him.
Tom, is there like an obscure law library? Because I know we looked at the map and figured that shit out.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, I'll totally give you that.
Okay, then we're going to book it to the law library, he says. Only it comes out like blah, 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 through his fangs, and you just see him run that direction.
Library?
That seems right.
That didn't feel good. Great. So you run to the library, and it's up a couple floors, like across a catwalk. It's in a slightly different building. Behind you, as you're making your way up, you can hear crashing throughout the building. It seems that Captain Plantier is clearly a bit vexed and is searching either for you or for the information he needs. So this is very much like a can you get there and get out before he finds it too? Because odds are, if you need a lawyer, he probably needs a lawyer.
Right.
So we'll be doing some opposed rolls to see how quickly you're able to and effectively you're able to do this. All right, so let's start with an athletics, just for the two of you booking it. You're going up and down a lot of stairs, a lot of cardio. It's been a busy day.
My athletics is at -1, but I did just roll a nat 20, so thank goodness for that.
Hey!
And I rolled a 12.
Great. Quinny, despite not being great at athletics, you are great at trying not to get killed again, and Captain Planteer is pretty much just good at that. So you are running with fleet feet, springing and striding your way forward. Reginald, the flamethrower is heavy on your back. Also, you're roided out, so you're just a little less agile than you normally would be. You're starting to fall behind a bit. And you hear a crash not too far away. And through the walls, you hear, "Are you a lawyer?" And then an explosion. And just said, "No one here is a fucking lawyer." And then there's some glass smashing and an incongruous piano crash sound, as is often done in Foley of people making a mess. But you continue to book it up as you kind of cross the catwalk through one of the windows. You can see on a lower floor, Plantier just smashing someone's head into a desk and holding up papers angrily in his hand.
I think at this point, even though he's a stupid monster, he absolutely would ditch the flamethrower out of monster panic and just focus on running.
Cool, that's fair. Like the shotgun that got jammed in Jurassic Park, you just leave it there. The camera stays on it for a second to show us that our heroes are now in more danger than they were. And the two of you continue to run, finally reaching the law building and heading for the law library, or library, if you will. Meanwhile, under the sea, Juniper, Butthole, and Moonhammer, you are slowly making progress under the waves as the demonic mer people surround you. Juniper, you've been eyeing them as you kind of wheel yourself forward, and you can tell that, like, despite they're kind of doing that Raptors testing. I don't know why I'm in a Jurassic Park mood today, but realistically, that's my mood every day.
Quick question. Has Juniper turned back into Juniper, or are we still Mrs. Paisley?
It lasts an hour. How much time has passed, Tom?
Not an hour. So if you want to be Miss Paisley, you can continue to be Miss Paisley.
I mean, why not?
Okay, great. So then you're Miss Paisley shuffling forward, because I imagine Miss Paisley is not exactly a striding person.
Yeah.
You can tell that the merfolk are testing the fence, as it were. They've been kind of getting closer and closer to the bubble fart hammer guardians. Words I get to say on the show. And you get the sense that they're kind of starting to gear up for an actual attack. You have a couple moments to prepare. What do you do? Do you forge some documents?
I mean, I can try to forge some, like, passage granted from Manny to traverse the seas of this hell.
Okay, so using Butthole's back as a ledger, you start to rapidly write. Can you roll me a deception, please?
Yeah, sure, totally. Right. That's 19 plus 11, so 30?
You forge a perfect document, and you hold it up proudly. And one of the mer person with the best eyes, like, swims up, like, squints, and she uses all three of her eyes to, like, read, and you can see her eyes, like, scanning back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. She turns to another mermaid and, like, mutters something. The other one nods. They both kind of laugh, and then one of them throws a harpoon at you. Manny doesn't rule this ring of hell, baby. What is your AC as Mrs. Paisley?
Funnily enough, it's just the same as Juniper.
Fair enough.
So it's 19.
Oh man, 19 don't matter when it's a nat 20.
Ah, fuck.
That is 19 points of damage as the
yikes.
The harpoon comes like a little bit buffered by fart hammers, but manages to come through and pierce you in the shoulder. They seem real mad now, and given that they can't get too close, you see them all, like, picking up, like, tridents and shit off of the various sunken ships, and it seems like they're going to start an all-out assault. Moonhammer, you've just seen Mrs. Paisley get a harpoon through the shoulder. She seems real hurt. Things are going kind of badly. What do you do?
Do I have any special stuff too? Like, I know I can fly into a rage, but Like you guys have weapons and stuff. I guess I have my hammers.
Yeah, you've got your hammers. That said, I didn't want to leave you without ranged abilities. So one moment as I just pull up your character sheet here. I think the way I was going to do it is essentially Butthole can summon a spiritual hammer that can like fly around and hammer people. I think in your case, it's almost like in a video game or something, it would be like a punch glove where like your hammer fist comes flying off. In this case, it's like if you slam your hammers together, a spiritual hammer will fly forward, and we'll treat that as your ranged attack. It's difficult because you lack hands.
So like a glowing hammer torpedo can be thrust forward from your body.
Exactly. So use the same stats as your up close stuff, but that's what that will be.
Okay, I'll take a torpedo.
All right, cool.
I wanted something, that I could like stab or throw through the force field.
Absolutely. All right, cool. So you get 2 attacks. So you get to fire 2 hammers. Right now there are 3 mer people kind of floating within shooting range. There's one who just threw the harpoon. There's one with a trident. And there's another one who has basically just like a big fucking gross mess of chains with like little daggers and shit on them that it looks like it's going to try and toss through onto you all.
Okay. I was gonna go for the trident. I feel like the chains with stabby things is kind of ominous, but I also feel like the trident could kind of puncture through our dome.
Yep.
Or bubble dome, fart bubble dome easier. So I'm gonna aim my torpedo at that one.
Fantastic. So go ahead and roll 2d20, please. And you're gonna add 9 to each one.
Oh, I do 2 of them?
Yep. As time slows, as they all like slowly raise their weapons.
25 for the first one and 15 for the second one.
The 25 will hit, the 15 will not. So then go ahead and roll your damage. It'll be 1d12 plus 5.
Do you yell anything while you shoot a spiritual torpedo out of your body, Alyssa?
What was the other thing I said? Okay. The other thing was a Moonhammer smash. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Moonhammer Pulverize.
I like that you've got like a real like anime or manga vibe going, of just like
Sailor Moon vibes.
Your name and then a thing you're doing. I love it.
Thunder crash.
Damage was 15.
15? Oh, damn. All right. So the one with the trident just gets fucking slammed and knocked back, just kind of swirling back. The trident falls from its hand. And it's still alive, but like it's clearly dazed. Like its head's just kind of like floating, but it's no longer floating like vertically the way mermaids always seem to in shows, so it looks fine for us as people who walk upright. Just kind of drifting back through space, trying to get her bearings. But seems to be out of this round, which is great. Unfortunately, as you fire your second one, she's drifting in such a way that it just kind of like flies past and dissipates in the distance, but one has indeed been pulverized. Next up, Butthole. You've just seen the awesome power of Moonhammer's spiritual torpedoes. What do you do?
Okay, I will essentially I want to drag Mrs. Paisley forwards because Moonhammer seems very strong, but Mrs. Paisley seems not quite as strong or capable, having just been shot. So it's like 2-hand on Mrs. Paisley, almost carrying her like a suitcase, but with like her head out the back so she could see the enemy. And he will fart, and it will, within the swirl, just go out and pop right into her mouth. And it'll be cure wounds at level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
So Mrs. Paisley, despite the taste of disgusting, weirdly helium-fueled fart, you will be healed for because he's got some bonus healing powers. Nice. That is 18 HP. So
Woo!
get that back.
Thank
And I
you.
get 3 to
Knock it
myself, but I'm already walking and I'm full health, so I just feel a little special, feel a little jazzy, getting to use magic in front of Moonhammer and be impressive. So that'll be
Thank
my
you.
turn, but I think I'll also yell down at Mrs. Paisley, like, you should shoot something or turn into a murderer, please. It's vaguely high pitched because there's a little bit of helium from the balloons. Butthole did empty his and Mrs. Paisley's balloons, so it is mostly oxygen because helium would just kill them in about 60 seconds underwater. Moonhammer's is all helium. For some reason, that's fine for her, but he took care
Thank
of the
God,
mortal
it's fine.
concerns.
She's fine. She's given up her mortal fleshy body long ago.
Yeah. That'll be my turn. So just
Okay.
jogging towards shore.
Great. So you're almost there. You think you'll be there within kind of one. You can survive like 1 or 2 more rounds. You'll be at the shoreline. Next up, we have the mermaids. So one of them is dazed, so she's not going to do anything. The one who threw the harpoon, like looks back at her friend, picks up the trident that she's dropped, and is so furious that she's going to charge at Moonhammer for causing this affront. So Ryan, what are the rules again on your wall of hammers?
All right. So within the wall of hammers, 15 feet of all directions, the moment they hit they enter it, they take damage, or they have to roll. It is a wisdom saving throw, DC 17.
Okay. They squeak by with a
Okay.
17.
So they will take half of the following damage,
Cool.
which is 13. So they'll take 6 damage, which is
bad.
radiant. And then the moment they enter the field, their movement is reduced by, they have their movement when they're inside the field. So it starts 15 feet away from me. I'm imagining Moonhammer might be behind me. So we could say Moonhammer is like 5 feet behind me. So theoretically, they would need 20 remaining feet of movement, even though it's only 10 feet to get to Moonhammer because they're getting bashed around.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple things happen as the hammers begin to hit. Like basically, I think this happens. It's been a long time since I saw Aquaman, but I think this happens in Aquaman where he just like gets like an underwater charge, where there's just kind of that classic like spinning water behind you like you are a human torpedo. So she just like coils her whole body up and then just starts kicking her majestic mermaid tail, like clutching the trident, just going full on at you. But as soon as she hits the fart bubble hammers, the radiant damage begins to just like pop and burst against her, and you can see that it's eating away at her as she goes. So she passed her save, but it's still super effective. So she takes double the half damage. So basically just takes the normal damage as the radiant affects the monstrous guardians of water hell. So that said, she's bound and determined. So she bursts through the side of the hammers kind of into your sphere and is going to attempt to spear Moonhammer with her powered up charge. Moonhammer, what is your AC? It should be a number in the middle top of your sheet there. Armor class.
15.
15? All right. Oh, but I roll so bad. Wait, 15?
15, yeah.
15. All right, one does sneak through. So bad. I had advantage too, and it was advantage of garbage. All right, so Alyssa, you're going to take 9 points of damage as the trident slams into your like meaty, muscular, butt-covered shoulder. It just like pierces the rubber butts. They deflate with a sad like noise, and yeah, now the whole outfit's fucking spoiled. I mean, first the hair, now this. Like, Chevy Horse Nuts is gonna be real mad about this if we ever find him again. We probably won't, but who knows? So yeah, you take a bit of damage. You're still up, you're still feeling good, but it hurts. It hurts a little bit. That said, the mermaid is now like right next to you, which is real unfortunate for her on your turn, which will be coming up in a moment. Next up, we've got the one with the chain net. He's going to throw it, but now he's got to try and avoid his friend, so he can't hit Moonhammer. So I'm going to give him disadvantage because he's trying to throw the net in such a way that it won't trap the other. Oh man. It's good thing I had disadvantage. I got a critical on that, but it doesn't matter. Instead, I get an 11 plus stuff. Mrs. Paisley, you're 19.
Yep.
Butthole, you're, I think, 18, 17?
20.
20, Jesus. Yeah. So just like net, he's like, man, and he throws his chain net of knives. But much like everything thrown underwater, it just kind of flitters forward a bit and then just kind of like sinks to the ground and just kind of awkwardly like rolls across the ocean floor and kind of bumps into your feet. Just like a weird, shitty metal tumbleweed. You kind of look down and it's you feel more bad for him than anything else. Everyone else is like being cool and throwing tridents, and he brought a net to a trident fight, and that's never a good call unless you're a gladiator, which he is not. So, what a fucking terrible round for the mermen. Top of the round, Mrs. Paisley, you've been instructed by Butthole. We didn't roll initiative for this, by the way. We kind of fell into it, and I think we're just gonna stick to it.
That's cool.
Mrs. Paisley,
right.
you're being dragged like a cool human suitcase.
Yeah.
You're feeling much better despite the taste of helium and methane in your on your palate. What do you do?
Yeah. So I know Retrick gave me like Juniper stuff back. Do I have like all of Juniper's stuff back?
What specifically do you want that you need to ask about?
Like
A sword.
okay,
She's
do I
asking
have
about
her
a sword.
spells?
Yes, you are Juniper. You have her.
Oh,
spells.
okay.
Those are like innate.
Do I have the
Yeah.
Blade of Walls?
I'm gonna say you do. It's a facsimile. All the stuff he gave you is a facsimile of your stuff. It's
Yeah.
not the original, but it's good enough.
Oh, okay. Do I have my piece of dead coral from the merfolk?
That got broken, I think, in a fight with the merfolk because you showed it to the wrong group.
Yeah, but I showed it to them, but I still have a piece of it.
I'm gonna
It's
trust you on
fine.
this because I don't track all of your weird, shitty items.
It's not crossed out on my sheet.
Okay, if it's not crossed out on your sheet, I trust. I trust
But
that.
now
vaguely.
Ryan's looking at me skeptically. So
Listen, I'm gonna have to trust you like Tom.
you know
I
what?
remembered
I'm
it
gonna
being
listen to the
destroyed
other
and you being
episode
very
again,
sad.
and also I'll save it to leave it.
Well,
leave it for
Laura,
later.
honestly, the odds of you meeting merfolk again soon are very low. So let's say this: it was damaged previously.
Yeah.
You managed to keep a shard, but that does mean that it is less effective. So you'll have disadvantage on, because it gives you advantage on communicating with the merfolk, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to give you disadvantage because that makes it completely moot, but it is damaged. So I'm going to say your critical fail, threshold is 1 to 5.
Okay. So it is it's only it really only works on like merfolk from the same group as the island is on. So I'm just like, maybe they're the same. Maybe this time it'll work. So
Cool.
I think with the like if I see them responding poorly, I'll just chuck it at them because this thing has been useless too many times.
Great. Does Mrs. Paisley have access to all of Juniper's stuff, or would you need to transform back into Juniper in order to have that? Because I think based on what I would
generally she would, but
I think with this new mode of druidic,
I'd have to change
form,
back.
You'd have to transform back. I think Juniper gets a pass because she's become sort of the prime
Yeah.
body. But given that this is one of your transformations, in order to access, because you've basically polymorphed all of your
Everything.
gear into this form.
Yeah.
So in order to access, you need to polymorph out. I mean, you might have to forge more documents, though. I really don't want you to lose this valuable skill underwater in a fight with trident-wielding mermaids. But
I know, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I.
It can
so
be really
I'm gonna,
useful in the next 20 minutes only.
I am gonna. So I'll turn back to Juniper and just
Okay.
be like, "Dead coral." Why you attack us is kind of like the face that I'm making while like
amazing.
holding it out,
Never
like,
change.
supplicatively.
Okay, go ahead and roll. I guess a persuasion.
Sure.
Friendship.
Oh, 9. I hate this piece
Wait,
of coral.
was it 9 after you added stuff or 9
Yeah.
before?
Oh fuck! So I rolled a 2.
Critical failure.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. through the waters, you hear the spine of our dead god. She blasphemes. And the merfolk fly into a barbarian rage as they
throw it at them.
I mean, they're pretty happy about that. It's nice to have it back. They start to reach out for it, and then one of the fart hammers just shatters it. And they're like, "Oh, further blasphemy!" And they fly into a rage. Moonhammer, Alan, or sorry, not Alan. Normally it's Alan who ruins diplomacy this heavily. So
I
it's
know,
just kinda in my
right?
head. Juniper has just enraged the merfolk. The one that you're tussling with, their skin has gone from bluish to like a pulsing red. As
Awesome.
they get all fired up. That said, this one is like right there with you, having stabbed you with a trident. They're right up in your face, which honestly is pretty good hammer distance. What do you do?
Is the trident still in my arm?
Yeah, it's just stuck in the flesh of your shoulder.
Okay. I think I might save that for later because kind of like, so I picture myself, we're walking along the ocean floor, right? And I can see that there is like kind of a rocky bottom. I want to slam the mermaid's head down with one hammer so she's like on the ground on a rock and just like smash her head with my other hammer.
Awesome. So like an otter trying to open a clam, just like down, bam.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that. Okay, so let's go ahead with the. Also, I should ask: are you also enraged?
Yeah.
All right. It's just a fucking rage fight.
Yeah.
It's just two drunk bros at a bar who stood too close to each other for some reason, and that really set them off. Okay, wicked. So. I think it would be safe to say that you're likely making a reckless attack because you just want this guy dead, right? Like you want this mermaid fucking gone. So you can roll with advantage. Let's go ahead and roll that first attack to see if you pin them.
Okay. The D20, yeah.
Yeah. So roll 2d20 and pick the better of the two, and then you're going to add 9.
Okay, so I'm at 26.
Great.
Best
Absolutely. So just like thump, like with a sort of a heavy thunk, you grab the mermaid, I guess this one is, and like pin them to the floor. Go ahead and roll your other attack, and then we'll do damage all together because I suspect this mermaid isn't going to make it through the round, but we'll see. So same deal. 2d20. Pick the best one, and then add 9, please.
Ah, crap. 18.
That's still good.
Okay.
Still goes through. Yeah, Captain Planteer, very hard to hit. These mermaids, less hard to hit. So you bring, you just arc, bubbles tracking your hammer as it comes up and down. So for your damage, it's going to be 2d12 plus 16. As you get +5 for each hammer, and you're raging, so you get an additional +3 to each one. So yeah, 2d12 plus 16.
So it's 2 of them plus 16?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 38 then.
Well, for a creature that had 15 remaining health, this is truly a bad day. So just like in any of those like underwater shark attack videos, where it's just like a fish and then there's just like a spray of red and just like flotsam. It's just that, like you just hear like and there's just suddenly a red sort of mist kind of floating in the water along with like little brain giblets and that sort of thing. And then kind of stomping out of them majestically, shaking viscera off both hammers, comes Moonhammer. Trident still sticking out, saving it for later, just a nice little treat in case you get hungry later. Just stalking forward, exactly 0 fucks given. What do you yell underwater as you do this?
I will return to Valhalla.
But it comes through underwater with healers. which somehow makes it more terrifying for all involved. Amazing. So you stalk forward out of the red mist. I think given that you're just down to the chain guy, the other one's still dazed. Butthole, you feel like if you can just deal with the guy who threw the chain net, you'll be clear to make it to the shore. What do you do?
Butthole looks down at his hand and goes, "Oh my god!" And realizes that he's still wearing Quinny's ring of super fast swimming or whatever the fuck that he used to take down the Kraken, because it's a ring and he wouldn't have taken it off.
Yep.
So he just basically releases Juniper, swings around with his hammer and sickle sun scythe, and just flies using all the power of his super speed Superman water body or whatever to just fucking human torpedo the motherfucker.
Amazing. So are you trying to drag him up onto the shore, or are you just trying to like kill him underwater?
Kill him underwater, and then I could just scoop the other two and we can get the fuck out of here.
Great. All right. So go ahead.
Well, it's a weird thing, but 15 feet before I hit him, the hammers do. So I'm going to need a DC 17 wisdom save.
Yeah, man, you ain't wrong. Oh no, I rolled a 2. So very much hammered.
Great. So he takes 15 radiant damage before I get there.
So you're just like flying, like, hammer out, rage in your eyes, and just like ready for impact. Like you have the hammer out in front of you, I assume, like using like a battering ram. And it's just like you can just imagine you're doing the whole like Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes, like where to hit precisely. It's like the little Star Wars targeting thing. It's like you're like, great. You think you know where its chest is. This is going to be amazing. And as you get there, it's like watching a vampire get staked in Buffy. It just kind of like the light continues to glow and burn it away. And you just like fly through a burnt up cloud. And it's wildly anticlimactic. You have to kind of like put the brakes on. You're flailing around with a hammer. You're trying to like turn yourself around. But yes, the hammer damage alone was enough to ice that motherfucker.
Oh. And then he'll turn around and just super speed. And basically what he'd like to do is scoop up Moonhammer and Juniper and then just like throw them onto shore like you see Aquaman do. And then he'd just like to float and bob in the water for a little bit like a dolphin does and be like, hey, look, I could do this.
Amazing.
Ring fucking rules.
Juniper and Moonhammer.
Just like, my ring!
Oh, that's very good. Moonhammer, what's your reaction to your favored cleric doing a dolphin dance like he's a fucking trapped animal at SeaWorld?
Nice.
Ryan,
All right,
gain bless.
I'll walk out of the water and feel really good about myself.
Amazing. So having evaded the mermaid's clutches, you've made it to shore. Moonhammer, if you want to keep the trident with you, you can pop it out of your shoulder and just kind of like sling it over your back. Someone will have to do it for you because, hammer hands. But if you just want to keep the trident for now, you can. That Bunny Hops has gone in search of Baal, which is great, but you also don't know when Baal will be back, and you still need one more key. So luckily for you, this remaining key would be slightly easier to get if you'd received the other one. But you know that nearby, in close to the site of God Prom, there is a curiosity shop that is a front for perhaps slightly stronger powers, and that the key you require is there. So Butthole, Juniper, and Moonhammer, given that you have to wait for Bunny Hops to complete his quest in the meantime, you decide to head to the curiosity shop. You arrive to find a sort of a small, kind of almost a hut. And the windows are just like they're kind of like floor to ceiling windows. They're very big, and they're just packed with garbage. Like it's just one of those like weird curiosity shops that's just like floor to ceiling trinkets. Outside, they've got like a lot of those like spoon chimes that are hung up. It is nighttime here in God Hell. You can hear the screams of tortured gods in the distance, as well as like the sirens of like god EMTs responding to the destruction of God Prom. But much like the hell that Moonhammer you once ruled, there are also just demons and torturers, admittedly on a completely fucking different level than the ones in your realm. But they all still have to live here as well. So it's weirdly a little bit more familiar here than the Administratum hell would be to you now. So you approach. The name of the shop is Tiny the Goliath's large and small emporium and stuff. And you can see that, true to the name, the hut is kind of built on a weird angle. So like the back half is like higher than the front half, and like everything's kind of slanty. It looks like Tim Burton or Escher designed it. But you can see just a small wisp of smoke kind of curling up from the chimney. And admittedly, it's pretty chilly out here. So there is something kind of warm and inviting to that. Moonhammer, you are aware that this shop is a front for one of the hosts, the people who actually control the various rings of hell. Juniper, you have in fact already met one of these. Rhetoric Khan is one of them. So this is a sneaky backdoor for them into and out of this world, and unfortunately, you require a key from one of them in order to be able to leave. Unfortunately, your contact wasn't able to give you much more information than that because you were hammering him at the time, and he only got so much out before he went squish. So all you know is that the store is a front and that Tiny the Goliath runs it. But beyond that, you're not too sure. You guys have a moment to kind of come up with a plan before you go in and try and figure out how to find the secret that this place holds. Moonhammer, I think we're going to say you relay all of this to Butthole and Juniper just to save time. How would you guys like to approach this?
Tom, quick question. If we were walking to this place, could we perhaps help Moonhammer patch her various wounds? And
of course. Yeah, please. We're out of combat. You can spend hit dice.
Oh, yay.
Alyssa, I didn't write these down on your sheet, but basically, since we're on a quick rest, you've got some dice that you can spend just to regain some health. So I will go ahead and roll those for you. Oh, damn. I rolled good. You can regain 19 points of damage.
The damage points, they're like throughout the game, right? Like, because I was down to, like, I've been going just down. Like, I haven't healed back up at all before.
Yeah, so generally speaking, whenever we're out of combat, if you want to heal up, and sorry, I should have clarified this for you, just let us know. And basically, anytime you're not in, like, an active combat situation where you're taking a rest, you can regain some health by spending these. So you have
Is there a limit on how many health dice a person can use, Tom?
Yes, you have a maximum number of
No, I just mean in one thing. Like, could you blow your wad and be like, I'll use all 12 hit dice and be back
you
to 100%.
could, and you just wouldn't get them back until your next long rest. And so far, you guys haven't had a long rest. You've been on the road.
And you only get half back after a long rest or something?
Something like that. I'm not sure. We very rarely use hit dice, but that's kind of where it's at. So, Alyssa, you have we just used 2. That means you have 10 remaining. So
how much are you still injured, Alyssa?
Well, was started at 125 and I'm 110 right now.
Would you like to spend another one?
I mean, I have 10 left.
I believe so.
You have 10 more dice you can add to heal yourself with.
Let me check your sheet. How many hit dice do you guys have right now?
12. You get 1 die per level.
Yeah, I have 12.
Oh, great. Yeah, so you got 10 remaining. So you can absolutely burn some of these guys.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Great. Gain an additional 6.
Okay.
Jesus.
Keep going or stop where you are.
Yeah, now you've got 9 more dice you could use, Alyssa. You want to keep going until you're 100%?
I mean, yeah, I
might as well.
You gain an additional 1.
Keep going, Tom. We got to get to that 125, baby.
Gain 3. 7 remaining dice.
How much more do you need, Alyssa? Let's get it.
20. Yeah.
All right.
20.
Keep going. Betting on black. Double
gain
0.
an additional 12, bringing you up to your maximum.
Okay, so I'm back at 125. Okay.
It's all good. I had to roll like 7 because
Tyler is so forlorn at the idea of 125. Look at that face. Look at that sad boy.
I'm capped at 75 hit points.
You're such a squishy boy. It's our soft boy Quinny.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah.
125.
You had more than twice my hit points
Look,
left.
barbarians
at that point.
don't get to do a lot of
Pretty
stuff. They get to go into rages, and they can like shrug off things and add some things. Where
They
they
live
also
forever.
are very hearty.
Yeah, I've got 107, so Moonhammer's topping me.
Whoa.
Boy.
Cool. So
Jeez.
now that we're all finished comparing dick sizes,
Alyssa's got the
you-
biggest cock.
she does have the
I
biggest cock.
do.
Yes, yeah, biggest of all.
Got the biggest hammer.
Hey-o. So how do you want to approach Tiny the Goliath's Big and Small and Stuff Emporium?
Yeah, so Moonhammer, do we have anything that this Tiny might want? Like we could trade, or perhaps make a gift or an offering. Gods like that.
Do you think he'd like a trident?
I literally don't know. So I think we should go with that. That's pretty good. We'll try to trade the trident. Otherwise, I have a sigil of the one of many faces. I don't fucking want this goddamn piece of shit, so we should roll that in there. Juniper, do you have anything we could give away? Do you still have that weird coral thing? It might actually have some value here.
Are you,
Oh, you mean the spine of the dead mergod? Yeah, that would have huge value here.
didn't come on. You saw what happened.
No. You were facing out the back. I was running forwards.
No, I threw it at them. And then your
Oh.
hammers just it hadn't worked for me in a long time. I got frustrated and I threw it. It's gone now.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else we could offer a god that might be of interest?
I mean, I'm not giving my forgery kit away.
Well, I mean, that's Mrs. Paisley's. That's not really yours to give.
I'm like looking at the shit I have. It's like discount card at Handor Costume Shop for next year's festival.
There we go. Boom. This god's probably going to want to go to Handor. So, all right. So we've got a discount card from the Handor Costume Shop. We've got a
I
sigil
have a
of the
potion
one
of greater healing.
No, that's useful for you. Don't give that
Okay.
away. You
Throw it
you,
at some mer people.
I was gonna say you make poor combat decisions, and we need you to not die. So keep the potion of healing. Also, if I go down, I can't heal anybody. So that's the only shit that'll heal me.
So
I can
the
bring you
champion
back-
of Handor Crown.
Oh, you started with that discount card, and we come around to the crown. There we go. All right, we got a crown, we got a trident, and we got a sigil of the
so
one of many
much
faces.
useless shit from Handor.
Great. So the goal is to offer these up to Tiny in the hopes that your offering will be enough.
Yeah, we want to make a friend.
Yep, great. All right. So who boots open the door?
It's me. It's always me. It's a store. Butthole kicks open the doors to stores and yells, "Hello, new friend!" every time.
You try and boot the door, and the door opens like 3 inches, and then just hits a pile of stuff, and you hear just a tremendous crash. And a voice just goes, "Oh no, not my store!"
Hello, new friend. Juniper kicked open your door, but I'm here to say hi.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, come on in. As you come in, you see just like a little tiny guy, just like adorable, just like very cherubic. And he's just wearing like a little like cozy knit sweater and slippers, and he's just like looking at this pile of stuff, and this whole place is just like junk from the floor to the ceiling. So realistically, it's not like he ruined some grand display, but he clearly has a system. And he says, "Oh well, I guess it's nice to have customers. Here, come in. I'll lovingly restack my treasures later, I suppose. But always happy to meet new friends." So he kind of gestures you through the stacks. And as you're kind of making your way through them, his head is slowly rising. And as you realize, the further he's getting into the shop, the bigger he's getting. And eventually he kind of brings you around to the counter, and he's like, "Okay, so hello, new friends. Welcome to my shop. What kind of curiosity is going to get you here today?"
Well, we've heard that you're like the coolest person ever, so we kind of brought you some things we'd like to trade in exchange for a magical key to Butthole or something.
Whoa, magical keys. There's no such thing here. I am but a humble emporium.
Oh, so you like lying.
Well, Whoa,
I'm
whoa.
super famous and I'm Baal or something. Okay, this is a fun game. So how about you give the key to me and then we'll all be friends?
Want to roll a persuasion check there, pal?
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, that is a 9.
I got a 21. You just and you realize you may have lost your chance. And he turns to you, Moonhammer, and he just says, I don't trust this one anymore, despite his plea of friendship. Pray tell, what have you brought me?
I have brought you this very unique and rare trident, taken from the Merqueen of the Deep. Very
Amazing.
Very rare.
I'm going to need a deception check from you, please, Alyssa. I don't believe you have that skill, so this is going to be a straight D20, please.
Okay.
Does she have a charisma score at all?
It is +0.
Oh, wow.
12.
Okay. He, let me see. Oh, I rolled a nat 20. He says, I sold the trident of the Merqueen last week, and honestly, it wasn't as nice as this. Royals be crazy. In any case, both of you have failed my test. How about you? And he turns to Juniper. He's like, person who knocked in my door, what have you brought?
Oh,
All right.
I lied. That was me who did the door. She's a nice person. You should listen to her.
But you are full of lies, so perhaps this is the lie, and she did in fact knock open the door. Now I am in quite a tizzy.
I didn't knock over the door. It was Moonhammer?
Double negatives. Okay.
Oh my goodness. And I just like, okay, I'm just pulling out all the stops. I throw on my like costume of like twigs and what was it? Like twigs and branches.
Oh, hey, look at
Handor.
this fancy fucker.
I've got like my metal crown of flowers. I've got I've got that one reflective mask
Yep.
and then the wide brimmed hat that like totally puts everything in shadow. So I'm just like, reflective, ooh, shadow, reflective, ooh, shadow, like bring it up and down,
Oh.
along with a discount card. I'm like, ever
Wait.
go into Handor?
I can get all of these things that you have at a discount? If I use this card?
Yes, and the discount is just one piece of that key that we need. Don't we need a key? I look like a Moonhammer. Like, was it a piece of the whole thing?
Oh, we need the whole thing. Yes.
Oh, the whole key. The whole whole key instead of two.
That was going to be a real good deal for me, but honestly, I do love a deal. Sure, I'll take your card. That was very confusing, but okay.
Yeah, for both of us.
You know, people are strange. Okay, listen. I only ask that you don't tell the host how you found them. Okay, I'm supposed to be keeping people away. I just love deals, as you can tell from all of the treasures I've accumulated. And he says, "Hang on, I gotta go close the door so no one sees what happens here." And he kind of like walks like he's doing a shitty improv of going downstairs. And he gets the front door and he clicks it. He's like, "Okay." So listen, just go turn the head of that famous orcish playwright Shakespeare up and just push the button that's there and that'll take you right down.
Okay. And Butthole will go over and do what he's told.
So you push the button and one of the shelves full of stuff shifts and slides away. You realize everything in there has been affixed to the shelf. It's not, in fact, a bunch of stuff that's been piled. It is a clever secret door, and beyond it, there is a glowing portal.
So, Moonhammer, do we just like go through this, or do we like do a ceremony around it? It kind of looks more like a door than a key.
Yeah.
The host who lives beyond the door is likely the one who has the key.
Okay. Well, I think we have to go inside. Go through the portal.
Alrighty. Butthole just jumped through.
I assume Moonhammer or Juniper, you're following?
Yes, I'm following.
Yep. Following Butthole again.
And so all of you leap through and tumble out into a massive sort of like circular room. And around it, you can see there are just mirrors everywhere of different shapes and sizes. And in the center of the room, there's like a big, kind of ratty, overstuffed red couch facing the mirrors. And as you look, you see that all of the mirrors seem to be showing scenes from around Dumb Faerun, from around the realms. And you hear a little voice go, ah! So, like a little face kind of peeks up over the couch and says, who are you?
Hello, new friend. So I'm Butthole. I'm the king of Aka. This is Juniper.
And that's
Moss.
Moonhammer and Old West Moss.
Yeah, you're figuring this out. This is pretty good. So you are?
I'm the great wizard Bukake, your host.
This episode of Dum Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Elizabeth at EL Hamstring on Twitter, our special guest, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum Dums and Dragons logo is by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum Dums and Dragons. Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, Charles Grams, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Lord of Bradovic, Noel Lewis, Scott Garland, Anthony Griffin, Chet Awesome Laser, Jordan Neesmith, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Taryn Hefner, Cade Peters, Richard Cranium, Christian Mendez, Anna Zed, Eric Williams, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Great Dane, Acrix, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.